What is going on, people? My name is Jay Jackson. Today we're going to talk about Chelsea 2, West Ham 1. Yesterday's game, bit late with a review today. Had a very busy day yesterday. Didn't really have a chance to make a video. So also kind of feel like it was the sort of game it was good to reflect and take some time, because there was a lot that happened in that game and also an awful lot that didn't happen in that game. If you watch the game, the first half was one of the blandest, most drab games of football I have ever watched. West Ham, 9 men behind the ball, Antonio up there, just waiting to hit Chelsea on the counter. They were very solid, very hard to break down, but more than anything, in the first half, we were completely void of ideas. We had a lot of possession, made a lot of passes, but none of them infiltrated their back four. None of them got in between the lines. There was no runs, there was no movement. It was just so stale. It really was a very uninspiring first half. And watching that first half, I definitely felt that you can really feel that there is a lack of ideas. Like, players don't know what they're doing. Nobody really knows what system we're playing, what's the best way to penetrate this West Ham team, who just were very solid, and David Moyes set them up to be that way and to frustrate us, and they definitely did frustrate us. You know, there were debuts there for Fofana, which was, great to see him in that back three with Koulibaly and Thiago Silva. I thought that new look defence was quite inspiring to see. I feel like that is the back three that we're going to be hoping stays fit for this remainder of the season, and that's going to be our identity. Like, now we've got an identity with those centre backs and Thiago Silva, and now our wing backs, and Tuchel can play with the wing backs, which is what we are so successful doing. But I want to talk a bit about the wing backs. I want to talk about Cucurella again, who I really just think is just looking bang average, in my opinion. And obviously, Ben Chillwell comes on in the second half and changes the game. I've been screaming for Ben Chillwell in the past few videos to come on, because I really think that he is the spark that Chelsea need down that left-hand side. Cucurella, for me, at the moment, is like another Chelsea player that I'm going to come on to, is running around a bit like a headless chicken. They're not quite sure of what they can do in this system and how they can help benefit the team. They're giving it their all, like they're running non-stop, but Cucurella is not really very effective, in my opinion, going forward or going back. Definitely not going back. Going forward, perhaps a little bit. There are some ideas. He does fizz in some nice passes, and he's actually got 2 assists so far, but I don't really feel like they really reflect his performances. You could say those stats are all that matters, but I really feel like Cucurella is not really performing, and is perhaps one of the reasons why we're looking a bit nervy on the ball and a bit just void of ideas completely. So Ben Chillwell comes on, changes the game. Absolutely changes the game. Making movements, running through. I feel like he's got a fantastic first touch. All you've got to do is harpen back to the Champions League final. That pass that he lays on to Mason Mount. No one really talks about. A lot of people remember the Mason Mount assist for that Kai Havertz goal, but no one really remembers the Chilwell bring down for Mason Mount. Is quality. It's absolute quality, and that is what Chilwell does. He's got a fantastic shot. He'll have a pop first time, like most of the time when it comes to him. He's just got that flair. He's really got that flair. And I know not a lot of people are his biggest fans, but I can't say I've seen that many bad games of him in a Chelsea shirt. I think he's brilliant, and to me, he starts. Yes, we've spent that money on Cucurella, but sorry, mate, you've got to take a back seat, and you've got to, we've got to let Chilwell get back into this team. Last year, we were top of the league up until, November? And it was all down to Reece James and Ben Chillwell. And now we've got our wing-backs back. that's our identity. We've got our wing backs, we've got our back three, and this has got to be the way we move forward from here. Another player who I just want to spend a little bit of time talking about how they're having a bit of a difficult time is Conor Gallagher. Again, he's just not really sure what he's doing. He doesn't know whether to just maintain possession, pass it, or try and create that chance that's going to open up the other team. I don't really know what he's doing. He's kind of just in possession, running around, and I feel like him in transition and trying to get the ball up the pitch or track back when we lose possession. It doesn't really feel like that's his game. It's not really working with Conor Gallagher, and I still think he's a fantastic player, and I think he's going to grow into this squad more and more, but it's not happening at the moment. And I think that now with Chelsea signing Dennis Zakaria, this is going to be another. I think that's probably going to knock him back a peg, and I can see him getting a bit less game time based on Zakaria's performances. But I'm very hopeful that Gallagher's going to Tuchel's going to find out his best position, and Gallagher's going to develop a style of play within this Chelsea team that is going to help attribute some assists, some goals, some possession, some meaningful possession, and create some goal scoring opportunities. But right now, it's not quite happening with Gallagher. I thought Ruben Loftus-Cheek again was fantastic. Another player I keep talking about and how well he's playing is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's a beast. He's a monster. He wins most of the duels he's in. And again, you saw that yesterday, how vital he was in that midfield. Alongside Kovacic, who didn't have his greatest game. He was the sort of engine in our midfield, which is what we've been lacking. And that was definitely a big improvement in that area. But didn't have his sharpest game, Kovacic. He looked a lot brighter when he came on against Southampton when we lost the other day. This time, he didn't quite have that cutting edge to his passing. His runs, he's so good. Such a fantastic dribbler, Kovacic. But I didn't really see that in this game. And he can have an average game every now and then. But when he's on it, he's on it. And he's just come back from injury, so I expect to see some good things. But yeah, it was a big decision from Tuchel to drop a lot of those players, and rightly so. And they came on and they made the difference. They were hungry. Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, Ben Chillwell, Armando Broja was fantastic as well. Really gave the defence a lot more to think about when he came on. He was moving everywhere. He's big. He's physical. He's very quick as well. I see him pounce on a lot of loose balls, and he's rapid. And I really want to see him play more. I was a bit unsure with all the rumours that he was maybe going to go and we were going to loan him out again, and I just feel like now we've got Aubameyang, I'm hoping that Broja still gets his opportunity. I'm hoping that it is swaps for Aubameyang for Broja. I hope that is if Aubameyang is not affecting the game, I hope he brings Broja on, or he starts with Broja some games, because there's a lot of talent there, but he needs a string of games. He needs a string of 90 minutes, 70 minutes, and for us to see the best out of him. And then that brings me on to Edouard Mendy, who once again has made a mistake that has led directly to a goal. Now, I like Mendy. He gives me so much more confidence than Kepa in those situations where he's got to pluck the ball out of the air from a corner, from a free kick. He's absolute giant of a man, and he can pluck the ball out of the air before anyone can get their head onto it. But the failed punch that led to the Antonio goal, it just is a sign of a goalkeeper really lacking confidence and really doubting himself at the moment, and probably needs maybe a break and needs to sort of regroup, and there needs to be probably some action from Thomas Tuchel there, and he's going to have to be harsh enough to drop him. And it's tough because Kepa, you might have seen some of the videos for Havertz before Havertz scores. He's come on and Kepa's given him almost like a little bit of a pep talk, a little bit of trying to explain some tactics or something to him. And I don't know, like, Kepa is doing everything you could want from a £70 million goalkeeper who had some terrible games, dropped on the bench, lost his place as first team goalkeeper, rightly so. Like, the attitude that Kepa is showing is fantastic. Like, he didn't get a move away this summer. No one's coming for him, I assume. But this guy's attitude has earned me a bit more respect. And maybe it's time to give him his opportunity. I'm not sure if Tuchel will. I'm not sure if Tuchel fancies him. But from that Mendy performance, again, mistake. And, for the potential equaliser, Coronet's equaliser, should have stood. I'm not going to be one of those Chelsea fans that's, just blindly ignoring the facts, but that goal should have stood. But why has Mendy parried that ball down straight into the path of Coronet? Like, it doesn't make sense. I just feel like it's another example. Mendy is not at the races at the moment. He's not sharp. He's making the wrong decisions, and maybe he just needs a bit of a break away from the game for a bit, from the pressure, because he's crumbling. He's really crumbling at the moment. He's not giving me any confidence in these areas where you need to be authoritative. You've got to take the ball. You've got to, put your hands around it. You've got to drop to your knees and make sure, even if you get clattered, that ball is yours. And he's looking like sort of a keeper who doesn't want to get hurt. And the merely made of that Bowen hitting his arm, the theatrics are really what saved us there. But it was his own doing. It was his own doing that they scored that goal. Reece James with a terrible header back. I don't know what that was about. I mean, Reece is normally so smart with his decision making, but that was a bad move, and he put Mendy in it, to be fair. But it was a scramble. It was a bit of a scramble. So West Ham could consider themselves very unlucky to not have got a point from that game. I'm not sure we were fully deserving of the 3 points either. Perhaps it could have been a draw. A point apiece might have been a fair result, but it's again another uninspiring Chelsea performance. West Ham, London derby, tough game. I guess I can consider we should be happy with the 3 points, and I am. Looking at the table today, I've just watched United beat Arsenal. Thank goodness they're not running away with it, and the league is looking a lot more open. Liverpool dropped points again. City drew, also dropped points. And our little blip, our early blip in the season may not be so bad if we can start to pick up some form from here on. We're 5 points behind Arsenal, 4 points behind City and Tottenham, and maybe this is the turn of our season. Fofana is in, Aubameyang is in, Zakaria is in. Let's see. Champions League next week. Time for some squad rotation. Time for a break from domestic football. And let's see if we can start to build on this momentum. It's definitely some things going wrong at the moment at Chelsea. And I sort of think it could just be down to the new players and not really gelling into this team as quickly as we could have hoped. But that's fine. Hopefully that will turn around eventually. For me, you've got to bring in Ben Chillwell from here on. Fantastic. What more can you ask for from like a 60, 70th minute substitution? 2 goals he was completely involved in. He created. He was brilliant. Kai Havertz silenced some of his critics. Fantastic finish. First time. That's exactly what I like to see. But maybe Chilwell has been the missing piece on that left side. Chilwell, James, back three sorted. Perhaps this is the turning point. I can't wait to see Aubameyang in action. I don't know if he's going to play for a couple games because he's got a problem with his jaw after that horrendous disgusting robbery that took place at his home in Barcelona. Zakaria, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see how he implements him. It would be really unfortunate if that means Loftus-Cheek gets dropped because he's been fantastic. You know, I would perhaps like to see Loftus-Cheek and Zakaria play together, but I'm not sure if that's really a too cool system with those two big holding midfield players as a presence. Maybe he might even play Loftus-Cheek a bit further up. That could work because Loftus-Cheek running at defences at the moment has been outstanding. So, guys, it's a positive win. Commiserations if you're a West Ham fan. I can see how you gutted and how you didn't get at least a point out of that game. But Chelsea get the 3 points, which we desperately needed. And let's hope this kickstarts our season. Onwards and upwards, let's hope. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Come on the Chels.